All right, we'll get it going. Today we're going to talk about the perfect customer journey in a roofing business. Is that off a little bit? There we go. We must have bumped it. Or if we could make it a little smaller maybe. We'll figure it out. We'll get the technical difficulties out of the way. But today we're going to talk about the perfect roofing customer journey. We're going to talk about creating a customer experience and not having that wows your customer, brings loyalty, reduces the customer acquisition cost for your roofing business, increases the long-term value of a customer, overall driving success in your business. So, how many roofing business owners do we have in the house? All right, roofing business owners, sales reps. Lots of sales reps, awesome. You guys are an integral part of the customer journey for your company, an integral part. Adam, what's up, man? How are you? In this customer journey, we're going to talk about from the time someone sees your brand all the way through the time that you fulfill your services and beyond that. And we're going to talk about the difference between customer service and a customer experience. Customer service is reactive, right? When you're providing customer service, you are reacting to the customer. When you're providing a customer experience, you have thought about the reactions of the customer. And you've planned for them, and you've put processes in place and communication in place to then make that experience the best possible. We'll start going here. So today we're going to help you gain a better understanding of your perfect customer. We're going to help you create better experiences for your customers, avoid potential issues ahead of time, right? Is it fun to deal with that customer that's upset, right? That they feel like they haven't been communicated with properly. It's not fun to deal with that. So let's put a process in place to avoid those issues ahead of time. We want also, like I said, we want to really focus on this to read. It's a rowdy group. Who said it? Huh? Oh, all right. Yes, this is a rowdy group. We're going to reduce your customer acquisition cost and help you drive long-term value, right? There's an old adage in marketing that the company that can pay the most for a customer wins. Have you heard that? Anyone heard that? The company that can pay the most for a customer wins. Why is that? Because that company knows how many clients they're getting on the other end, right? They know that they can turn that one into many. The most successful roofing contractors I know turn one into many. How many of you sales reps are knocking the doors of the neighbors on production day? Right? That is turning one into many, right? So, who am I? Does anyone know me? Jim Moline, Roofer Marketers, Roofing Success Podcast. If you don't know me, I am the co-author of 2 books, Internet Marketing for Roofing Contractors and The Best Known Roofer. I am the host of the Roofing Success Podcast, where I interview successful roofing contractors like Ethan. Who else has been on my show in here? I thought I saw a couple. Adam's been on my show in here. Check out those episodes specifically because they showed up today, so let's run those numbers up for those guys. I speak at a lot of these events. I am, anyone heard of Adam Bensman, the roof strategist? Right? You know Adam? I love that guy too. I'm the marketing coach in the Pitch Pro movement. We are ICO Roof Pro partners, and we do this every day. We work with roofing contractors around their digital marketing and around their businesses every single day. We focus on 3 key things, 3 key principles. The first principle that we focus on is maximizing the opportunity to generate a lead for your roofing business, right? Because without opportunities, you have no business. So there's an old business philosopher, his name is Jim Rohn. He passed away years ago. Is anyone familiar with Jim Rohn? Nice, I'm not the old guy in the room. Jim Rohn, one of the things I took from Jim Rohn is that you need 5 to 7 lead sources to have consistent lead flow in your business, right? So if you're reliant on one lead source, your business is fragile, right? You need to build multiple and that's what we consider opportunities, multiple opportunities. The next thing that we need is multiple brand impressions, right? The more times someone sees your company, the more times that you're just dropping into the trust bucket, right? The more times they see you. Ethan talked about on our podcast with Ethan Andes here, he talked about during the pandemic, he put out hundreds of signs, hundreds of yard signs. People in his local market saw him over and over and over and over again, right? Those brand impressions add up. They add up in the minds of those consumers. The third thing that we focus on is maximizing the conversion rates of everything that we do, right? There's different ways to maximize conversion rates from a pay-per-click ad than through canvassing, right? There's different ways to maximize those conversion rates, but we always want to be focused in on that. So I want to ask you guys a question. What are the biggest challenges that you face in creating a world-class customer experience for your roofing business? Anyone here? What do you guys, low cost, what do you guys, what are some of the challenges you're facing in creating a customer experience?
I guess the insurance claim, the length it takes.
The length of an insurance claim, and maybe so in that maybe the expectations of the homeowner and how you're dealing with that. Great. Yes, sir.
Communication back and forth.
The communication is a challenge back and forth with the homeowners. Yes, sir. Labor. So are you like with the customer? Yeah, finding labor is challenging, right? Finding good people is a challenge, and finding good people that will represent your company in the right way, right? And help deliver that brand voice that you guys are focusing on. I hear a lot that there are always problems, and one of those problems is issues always pop up, right? So you plan to do a great job for this customer, right? You plan, and then all of a sudden, oh man, something's out at the supply house. Something's up, like the crew didn't show up. They didn't pick up the material on time. The rep didn't make that phone call. There's so many things that issues always pop up. Another thing that I hear a lot is that there becomes an inconsistency from one customer to a next. Right, so you're dealing with one customer and it just flows, right? It goes so well. And then you get into that next project and it's like everything that could go wrong does go wrong. Has anyone experienced this? Right? These are problems that we have to face. And in that leads to the lack of ability to create those raving fans and referrals. Create those reviews for your business. Who are well-reviewed companies in this room? How many of you feel that you are well-reviewed? Right? Hundreds of 5-star reviews. That builds that trust in that consumer. But if you can't deliver that consistent process day in and day out, you will lose that ability, and then you won't be able to create those raving fans and referrals that you deserve. So the opportunity now is that we get to build processes up front to avoid these issues. Right? Can you think of some of the most common issues that you face and dial in and narrow in on that, and you can build processes around that, and we'll talk about how to do that in a little bit. And then that creates a world-class customer experience. Companies that have a world-class customer experience, you know them in your marketplace. Some of you are that company. But those companies create raving fans, tons of referrals, and become the go-to roofing company in their area. I want to talk to you quickly about one of our clients, MHI Roofing out of Pittsburgh. They also own Ugly Roof. Go check out their booth while you're here. It's a roof rejuvenation system. Ty Meredith and John Broche are great examples with MHI Roofing of someone who has put together a world-class customer experience. They have thought about the way that their marketing is delivered to their customers, the way that their customers see them. They have a jingle or a tagline. We do this every shingle day, right? They have television commercials. They have trucks. They have we're doing SEO and Facebook ads and all of these things, direct mail, and they have all these things going out to them. And they have these touch points with these customers that invoke trust. They also have hundreds of 5-star reviews. How many of you have found that there is a reduction in lead flow? If you're not in an area that got hit by a lot of storms this year, if you're retail, how many of you saw a downflow in leads? I saw a couple of heads nodding, right? Search volume on Google is showing that. Since May of this year, when the talk of the recession started hitting the airwaves, search volume has been dropping. In some markets, it's up to 70% lower than last year, right? 70% lower. Now, if you had a good storm, you had a good storm, right? We're in the Minneapolis area, we have no problem, right? So, but this is it's true for MHI Roofing. They're in the Pittsburgh market and Morgantown, West Virginia. Full retail markets, no storm restoration. Their lead volume is down 40%. But they have spent such an amount of time on their customer experience and customer journey that their revenue is up 20%. They filled 4 additional sales reps' calendars, right? But it's because they're thoughtful from the time that someone sees their brand to the time that someone calls in and the message that that CSR is communicating to the customer. Into the sales process, they work the Rodney Webb system or a version of the Rodney Webb system, and they have that sales process dialed in, down to using software. We use Contractor Boost AI with them to create communication. So now a sales rep gets notified an hour before their next appointment, and they just click the phone number and text the homeowner, "Hey, I'll be there in an hour." Little prompts along the way to make sure that the process is consistent. So to do this, we want to understand the customer journey. And the customer journey is just a set of interactions that a customer has with a brand in buying a service or product, from the discovery of your brand through purchasing and beyond. To put this together, we need to understand why it's important, right? We need to gain a better understanding of our customers. Who in here knows who their perfect customer is? How many of you have fired a customer? Right? So you guys know who your customer is not, right? So the opposite of that is who your customer may be, right? By understanding your different customer personas, in marketing we call them personas or avatars, customer avatars. By understanding this, you can target your audience more effectively. It will help you determine what truly matters to these customers, and making sure that you address that address what they need in your marketing communication. You get an understanding of your customers, it'll allow you to have more empathy. A lot of times we think from our company's perspective. We don't think from the customer's perspective. So when we're putting together our communication rhythm for our customers, we think about it how we want to do it or how we can do it internally. What would be the easiest flow in our business? But that may not be how the person wants to be communicated with. We get to by understanding the customer journey, we get to create better experiences. Creating a customer journey map, what we'll walk through today is creating a customer journey map, will help you dig deeper into your customers' interactions and create personalized experiences and touch points along the way. And it'll help you avoid potential issues ahead of time, right? It forces you, the exercise that we're going to do today will force you to look at this process, at this journey, at how your customers experience your brand. In doing this, it's going to reduce your costs and drive results. Just like I said with MHI Roofing, their lead flow is down 40%. Their top line is up 20%, right? Their referrals are up. Their reviews are up. It helps you make the most out of your budget when you are able to speak to these perfect customers. So a customer journey map is a diagram that shows the process your customers go through while dealing with your company. The map shows the story about how your customer moves through each phase and what they're thinking at each phase, what they're feeling at each phase, what they're looking for at each phase, what they're experiencing at each phase. It resembles all customer touch points and feelings, such as the frustration and confusion that they may have. And a map is also usually shown on a timeline, right? So it's how your customer moves through your business. This is what a customer journey map looks like. Across the top, we have awareness, interest and consideration, purchase decision, delivery, and loyalty. So those are the stages that a customer moves through with your business. Down the side here, we have doing, thinking, touch points, pain, and opportunities. These are the things that are going on with that customer, right? What are they thinking? What are they doing? If they're driving down the side and down the road and they see one of Ethan's signs on the side of the road, they're driving, right? That's something they're doing. What are they thinking? So the touch points, the pain, and the opportunities. If anyone after this wants the slides, you could stop by our booth. What are we at, 1331? 1331. Give me your information. We'll send it all over to you. We're also recording this. I'll send you a recording of the presentation, whatever you guys want. So the first thing that we need to do in a customer journey, we have to understand who's going through that journey, right? Who is the customer that's going through that journey? So we want to understand that buyer persona, that customer avatar. The customer avatar, for example, is a detailed representation of an actual person, and you should put a name to them. You should name that person. So in an example here, we have Paul. He's a 57-year-old electrician. He does all of his research from his iPhone. He hasn't had great experiences in the past with contractors because he is a contractor, so he has some expectations on how things should be, how things should go. Paul he's a family man, he enjoys fishing, and he looks forward to retiring in 8 years. Those are things you need to know about your customers, right? Michelle is a 32-year-old marketing manager who uses technology intensively. She's new to the area. It's her first home. She's never hired a contractor before. She will decide by reading all the online reviews before making a decision, right? These are two very different people, right? And so you have to create a customer journey for these different people. Start with just your main customer, right? Start with the customer that you want to serve best. And then as you go along, these are also living documents. It can change, right? It doesn't have to be static forever. As you go along, you can create, how many do metal roofing, right? You're going to have a different customer journey for a metal roofing customer than you are for a storm damage restoration asphalt shingle customer, right? There's going to be different customer journeys. On the commercial side, you're going to have a much different customer journey, right? So create those avatars. Do this exercise. So by understanding your buyer personas, you choose one persona at a time. One persona at a time. You talk about how the customer initially finds you, right? So Michelle was probably on Google, right? She was Googling roofing companies near me, and she started reading the reviews, and that's how she got to your company. But Paul may have asked one of the guys on the job site, hey, do you know a good roofer? I can't stand any other contractors. Do you know anyone that you can even stand to have at your house? That may be how Paul finds your company, right? How easy or difficult is it for them to book an appointment? Let that set in. How easy is it for your customer to book an appointment? I like to, because it's hard to reflect on our own businesses, so I like to use this example. My air conditioning goes out. It's a hot summer day in Minnesota. My air conditioning goes out, and I go to Google and I start calling HVAC contractors. When do I feel like my problem is solved? When I get a new AC unit, or when someone is coming out to look at the unit? As soon as you get the appointment set, you feel like the problem is solved. Now, when they get to your house and they give you that estimate, you may go, well, I may need to, consider some things here. But 50% of people go with the company that they meet with first. So you're already 50% ahead of the game if you are that first person there. So booking the appointment, making sure that your appointment is booked on that initial phone call. We listen in our marketing agency, we listen to every single phone call that comes through our clients' businesses. We make notes as to if it was a new customer, existing customer, who answered the phone, what the outcome of the call was. And a lot of times we get, one of the outcomes that we have in our system as we notate is callback. Hey, we'll give you a call back and let you know when we can possibly maybe come out. Is their problem solved? No. Make sure that you get that appointment booked on the first on that first phone call. What problems did your brand solve for the customer? Did or not solve for that customer? Thinking about these things. So to understand more about this, you could do things like interviewing your customers, right? Interviewing your customers, conduct interviews with them. There's a service out there, Guild Quality. They like call on your behalf and they'll do a full customer review type of thing. Like that's valuable sometimes. All you sales reps in the room, can you tell the owner of your company where the gaps are in your process? Oh, you guys are quiet. The owner must be in the room. Right? Listen back, as the owners, listen back to recorded calls. Like I said, we listen to every call that comes through our business. Wow, we got lots of feedback there. Someone else is trying to hijack my thing. Listen back on recorded calls. Send out an email or a survey to a select group of customers. Read over customer complaints and reviews. You'll get a lot of data by reading your reviews on Google. If you actually go through and read all of your reviews, you're going to get an idea of how that customer journey went. Now here's some recon for you. Go to your competitors and read their reviews. The ones with good reviews. Read their reviews and you'll get an understanding, again, a deeper understanding of what a roofing customer is going through. What pain points that were solved by that company. And then you can leverage web analytics. So if you're using Google Analytics, Google Search Console, things like that in your on your website, you can go in there and find how people are going through your website, what pages they're clicking on, how much time they're spending on it, if they're getting the right answer or not based on how long they spend on that page. So you can leverage that. You want to identify the pain points. These are specific challenges your customers experience with your brand from the initial point of contact post-sale. It's important to understand the pain points because they determine what types of solutions the customer needs. So some pain points in roofing are financing and payment. How many people want to buy a roof?
Nobody.
0 people want to buy a roof. How many people want to take that tax refund check and buy a roof? No one, right? How many people want to take that bonus check that they got from work and buy a roof? No one. So financing is an extremely powerful conversation that you can have and very helpful to that homeowner. You have to be able to you can look at your online research and readability. Are you showing up online for things that customers are searching about? The questions that they're asking. The communication that you're having with those customers on an ongoing basis, that's hands down the number one thing that your customers are saying about you. Either you have great communication or you have terrible communication. Right? Hands down, it's one way or the other. Pain points may be job delays or uncleanly jobs. One of the things, one of the members of the Pitch Pro movement, I did a coaching session like this for the Pitch Pro movement, and one of the members said that through this experience and going back to their customers and having these conversations, they realized that there was a gap in the way they were cleaning up jobs. Right? So you can find these pain points and fix them, close the gaps. Figure out your process, your support, your warranty information. By defining all the customer touch points and the actions that happen at each touch point, right? So like we said, all the way across, interest, awareness, purchase, decision making. Multiple touch points create a journey. Understanding how the customer feels at each touch point will help you focus on this. And it also helps you to create a customer approach model rather than a one-size-fits-all model. So let's think about the touch points the way that your clients are communicating and becoming aware of your company, how they're experiencing your company on an ongoing basis. One of the things is social media. Do you think they only find you on social media and then they stop looking at your social media after that? Do you think while you are doing the job on production day, when your job site supervisor is out there taking pictures before and afters and hopefully posting them on your social media or doing a video, do you think they're not involved in that? Right? Or are your job site supervisors having a conversation with the customer on video? Hey, how did we do today? Did we do a good job for you? Right? That experience on social media, and then long after you do the job for them, you're still in their social media feed if they hit like, right? If they hit follow. email, the way that your emails are worded, word of mouth. How are people talking about you? What are people saying about your company when you're not there? It's a big touch point that you can get improved upon. Your yard signs, billboards, wrapped trucks, your phone calls, the communication on the phone call. I was just on the Patrick Carr show this morning. We did an interview, and we talked about the phone call. And he said he called a roofing company here in the Florida area, and I can't remember what it was called, but we'll call it Sun Roofing. And he said, this is Sun Roofing. It's a bright day here at Sun Roofing. How can we make your day brighter, or something similar to that, right? Like, he was like, whoa, yeah, you could make my day brighter. I have had it so bad where, like, I've listened to a lot of phone calls. There was a roofing company up in the Philadelphia area that answered the phone, roofer. Serious. Like, this is how, like, it's crazy. Your office space, right? How your brand is exposed to the marketplace. If one of the members of the Pitch Pro movement just bought a new office at the end of a bridge that goes between their two cities in their town, and now 80,000 people a day get to go by that, right? Your SEO, your Google Maps, your Google Ads, your radio, all of this are channels where your customer is interacting with your brand before, during, and after they purchase. So we need to understand our buyer's goals, right? They're going to vary based on the touch point. Some examples of goals are researching and finding different options. There is a goal in that consideration stage where they're researching options. What roofing system should I put on my house in the Minneapolis Twin Cities area? What is the best roofing system for my location? What are the pricing options? What is the typical cost of a roof in Indianapolis, Indiana, right? Like, what are all of these things? They're researching these things to find different options. They want to believe that they're paying a fair price. None of us in this room want to feel like we got ripped off, right? We don't want to learn later all of a sudden that, man, that roof wasn't $20,000. I could have got it for $12,000. We need to obtain the necessary information about the service that they're providing or that they're looking for. So we get to take a look at these and we get to fix these issues. After taking a look at the journey, you get to see if anything needs to be tweaked or changed. How many people feel like you already have stuff that needs to be tweaked or changed? Nice, honest people. Are there any problematic experiences that your customer goes through during this journey? You may get to take a step back and notice issues such as customers frequently complaining about the lack of communication. Maybe they're not satisfied with your sales reps following up in a timely manner, right? That could be a concern that they're having that you didn't really realize. And then you get to improve it, right? Your customer journey map is a living, breathing document that allows you to make constant improvements. So whenever you introduce new services, products, or locations, the map gets to be tweaked, right? The map and journey needs to be tweaked. Talk about some other friends of mine, clients of ours at Hero Roofing down in Noonan, Georgia. Anyone know Hero? Anyone know Nick? Hero Roofing is another amazing roofing company. They've done this exercise. I've had Nick on my podcast twice. Nick was the inspiration for this presentation today because I talked to him about a year ago, and they actually went through this customer journey mapping process within their company. Here are some things that Nick and his father Todd have learned about their company and what the impact that it's had on their company. The first thing was by mapping the process, they understand where the customer is in the process, and everyone on their team knows where the customer is in the process and how to communicate with that customer. They also know who's in charge of that specific part of the process, right? That has helped them tremendously in not stepping on each other's toes and making sure, right? They're making sure that there's a clear path and everyone knows their job and everyone knows the best way to communicate at that specific stage of the process, right? In doing this, they haven't had huge growth this year in terms of top line revenue. They went from $6 6.2, I think. I think they'll end the year. They're projecting around 7. But what has changed is their profitability. Their profitability, net profit, bottom line, what matters, has changed dramatically. It is up, depending on the math, they're going to be pushing high teens, maybe 20%, because of the processes that they've put in place, because of the journey that they've created. From the time that someone sees Hero Roofing in the market, right? You could hear the brand. If you can't hear the brand, you're right. Hero Roofing. Their sales reps are called Roof Heroes. They've understood how to express that brand in a way that the customer resonates. Then down to the phone call that gets made, or when someone calls their company, when they answer the phone, they get that appointment set. And the sales rep is responsible for calling that customer back within 24 hours to confirm that appointment and be at that house within 48 hours. If they don't do that, they don't get those leads anymore. Right? So now it allows you to see those gaps that you're having in your process too. So they're a great example of that. So again, going back to the customer journey framework. See how much time we got here. We still got plenty of time. Going back to the customer journey map, they looked at awareness. They looked at the interest and consideration. They looked at the production team. They looked at the delivery, the loyalty. They've increased the cost that the amount of money that they spend per customer by having the job site supervisors, by the gifts that they give. They give really nice gifts to their clients. They've increased the cost of the customer, but they've reduced the customer acquisition cost, right? Because that plays. People understand that. They want to use Hero Roofing. So let's talk about the 5 customer stages, right? The 5 customer stages. So the first is awareness. A customer is trying to learn about potential solutions to their problem and recognizing that they have a need. I was just down in about right after Ian hit. My folks have a place in Pelican Bay just north of Naples. So I went down there to help them. There's some remediation that needs to be done. And we're staying at my uncle's house in Lehigh Acres. And I drove down, it's 23rd Street or something, 23rd Avenue in Lehigh Acres. And every single house on that road had shingles blown off. Those people recognize a need to their problem, but it's not as simple for a lot of other homeowners. They don't recognize that need, right? It's not as obvious. The next stage is consideration. So a customer is considering and researching potential solutions. Then you have your decision. It's when they make a conscious choice to use your service or not. Move on to delivery, right? Once the customer receives your service, how are they receiving it? How is that delivery process? Do you have a job site supervisor on every single job that you do? Or does your sales rep show up in the morning and say, hey, Bob and Cindy, this is great. I hope you have a good time. Right? Good luck to you. We've sent our subs out, right? And then the loyalty. Do you provide gifts to them? I had another gentleman on the podcast out in the Baltimore, Maryland area, and he finds a unique thing for every. It's a time-consuming process, but his team finds a unique thing for every single one of his customers. Every single one. He wears a Tiger Woods hat. So someone commented on his Tiger Woods hat. One of the customers so he went out and bought a Tiger Woods hat, and that was his gift to them afterwards. On every single level, how detailed you can be to provide that additional service and make people feel very just feel amazing about the service that you provide. Okay, those are the stages. Now we have customer actions, right? During each of those stages, people are doing something, right? What are they doing? Are they driving in their car? Are they searching online on their desktop? Are they searching online on their phone? Are they walking their dog through their neighborhood and see your signs? Right? What are their behaviors and actions during this time? What are they thinking? What are their thoughts, feelings, emotions? What are their motivations and what are their needs? What are the touch points in each of these interactions that you have with this customer? So maybe in the beginning, in that brand awareness stage, you're not having a lot of personalized communication with them, right? They're just kind of looking you up online. They're reading through your website. They're looking at your Facebook feed, your Instagram feed, your TikTok. They're just getting an understanding of who you are, but they're doing that without you knowing. So you have to have the right interactions there. Then we talk about their pain points at each of these parts of the customer journey, and then the opportunities, right? The summary of problems and questions a customer might have. So this is also an action step that needs to happen at each of these places. So this is a filled out customer journey map. Can't read some of it. Like I said, I'll give you guys the slides and things like that. So this is we did this with one of the members of the Pitch Pro movement. And we talked about a customer that they had recently. This customer was a young man who had recently purchased a new home. He'd never hired a contractor before, right? Never hired a contractor before. So in never hiring a contractor before, he has a lot of questions, right? Doesn't understand the process. He was at a fishing tournament and saw one of their reps had the wrap truck out there. So the awareness was they saw a truck and started a conversation. Hey, I got a problem with my roof. And that connection that they were both at that fishing tournament built trust, right? That built trust with that customer. So he was thinking, man, I don't know how to find a good contractor. I know I have a problem, but I don't know how to find a good contractor.
Becoming too much when
It is becoming too much when they keep hacking into my sound. The touch points that they're having, man, we got some feedback. The touch points was a conversation with a sales rep. There was a card exchange, and that sales rep put that contact into a CRM. The pain point that this person was feeling, this person who I called Jake because I have a young man that just graduated college that lives next to me. He needs a new roof. His roof is leaking. So the opportunity here in this awareness stage in a person like Jake would be to educate them on the process. Educate them on how to hire a quality roofing contractor, right? Those are things, that's the opportunity that you have at this point. Now, Jake exchanged information with the sales rep. Then they left this fishing tournament. So this is where Jake goes into the interest and consideration mode. So what is Jake doing at that point in time? Waiting for a phone call, right? He's waiting for a phone call. He's waiting for that inspection to get scheduled. So he's thinking, I can't wait to have my inspection completed to understand if I need to buy a roof, right? The touch point here is an outbound call to set an appointment. The pain is a new roof, needing a new roof, leaking roof, right? I can't see what the opportunity here, what do we put here? Reinforcing the value of the inspection. Educating him on what the value is and having that roof inspected, right? So, and this goes on and on through here. Let's see where we are. Oh, we still got 5 minutes. All right, purchase and decision, right? So now, Jake's a young kid. He probably starts going on Google and doing research, asking friends and family if this is a good decision. Maybe he goes on BBB, starts reading reviews, reviewing the estimate that he got from your company and maybe from other companies, right? That's what he's doing. He's considering if he can afford it, considering quality versus price, right? Is your value there? Did you sell value? The touch point is a sales presentation. Maybe there's follow-up emails, text messages, a drop-in, bringing by a shingle board, right? A text message with a video to Jake saying, hey, I know you haven't made a decision yet, but I just want to drop by and let you touch and feel the product. The opportunity, again, educating them on the claims process. Who here was saying that the claims process, like the right, like that, you get to educate them on that process. In the delivery, so now they've made their decision. They signed the contract. First thing they have is buyer's remorse, right? The first thing they have is buyer's remorse. So they're wondering, are they going to call you? When is this going to be scheduled? When am I going to get on the calendar? They may still be looking, for gotchas, like, hey, are we going to really be able to get this done, right? Are they going to be able to deliver on this product? So you have to reinforce that they made a good decision, right? And then they're thinking, when's the install going to happen? Will my rose bushes survive? Will I get a flat tire when they leave, right? Will my children step on nails? Right? These are all things that they're thinking about, right? And so being able to express that, the second that your job site supervisor, your salesperson, production manager, whoever shows up on the morning of that build, hey, I just wanted to let you know, we're going to take care of these rose bushes over here, right? You can do that across this to make a customer journey. So during the sales process, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, what's most important to you, in this process? Making sure that, we want to make sure that these rose bushes are intact, right? We want to make sure that we don't, that the pool gets covered and that's taken care of. So then when your employee of the company shows up on production day, they can reinforce that. Hey, I just wanted to let you know, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, we're really going to take care of those rose bushes. We're going to, we got the tarping going up on the pool. We're going to take care of that, right? In the touch points here, maybe an expectations packet that you mail to them. They sign the contract. All of a sudden, 2 days later, they get this packet in the mail that tells them, walks them again, reinforces the process of your company. Emails, text messages, videos, a welcome call. I did a podcast episode with Curtis Eshby. What was out of Chicago recently. They do 4 color selection confirmation calls. 4. They do $30 million a year in their business. They do every single job. They do 4 color confirmation calls because they know you mess that up, right? It's a problem. The opportunity here again is educating them on what could go wrong, right? Or educating them that you will take care of it even if something goes wrong. Hey, I know things go wrong. This is construction. But we want to let you know before anything, we are here to take care of any problems that come up. So you don't have to worry, right? Making sure that you express that. And then on the loyalty side, talking about your business, asking for reviews, double checking the work, researching warranty information, making sure that they understand their warranties fully. All of that is that brand loyalty. Expressing to them what they're thinking now, if you have a good customer experience, is that, hey, this was painless. I'd refer this company, right? I'm going to talk to my neighbors the next time I hear them looking about roofing or thinking about roofing. Touch points here, your final walkthrough. You could have a 30, 60-day, 90-day follow-up, calls, emails, texts, survey them. Send them their warranty information with a video of the highlights of their warranty, right? The pain that they're having here is if the job didn't go well. There's an anxiety of proper installation, wondering if something happens, wondering if you'll be around or if you'll come out and fix it. So making sure that you're expressing that. And then fixing anything that went wrong, right? There's an opportunity there to fix things that go wrong. Some of the best, most loyal customers you will have are the ones that you had a problem on. That job that didn't go well, but you made it right, right? So in that customer loyalty, that's the opportunity there. So I hope you guys understand more about the customer journey and how that impacts your business, right? Each of these stages, you don't have to do it all at once. All of these things in your business can become overwhelming. All of the things that you learn here at RoofCON, all of the shows, all of the breakout sessions that you go to, I believe that business is phase 1, do something. Phase 2, do something a little bit better than that. Phase 3, do something a little bit better than that. And so on and so forth. And 5, 10 years from now, you'll look back at your company and you won't even recognize what it looked like then. You may, if you are not embarrassed by what your company looked like 10 years ago, you are not progressing in your business, right? And you didn't start fast enough. So I'd be happy to answer any questions for anyone. Stop by booth 1331. Thanks, guys. Stop by, get a free book, hang on the bar, try to win $100.